Hey everyone, Sigam here. In this video, we will have a look at Season 3's new hero Mehmet II and see how he will help us transition our warrior archers from the second season to the third. Season 3's warrior archers offer many viable and achievable options for free-to-plays and lower spenders, as well as ways to survive longer against Season 2 and Season 3's dictator, Lu Bu. Mehmet's addition can also end the debate on where you should use your double attack support, whether on warrior archers or cavalry, as he provides a decent alternative that allows you to play archers without Attila or Rani. Let's see how to get the best out of them through hero combination, ring pairings, skills, gems and synergies. Let's dive in and start cooking. Our first composition for free-to-plays this season is Bellevue, Mehmet and Attila, assuming of course that you are not currently using Attila in your Lu Bu warrior cavalry lineup. It's a reliable formation and above all an affordable one, since these three heroes are scattered and obtainable across 3 different seasons through the legendary Advent Wheel. Attila is the Season 1 wheel hero, Bellevue is from the Season 2 wheel and finally Mehmet from the 3rd season's wheel. This army does not need a ton of stars either, since only Attila will really benefit a ton from his 5th rank. Bellevue does well at 3 stars, and while Mehmet's 5th star is very good, it is not mandatory to get it to play this formation. Let's have a look at our commander, which got shadow buffed last season, making her a better commander than she was before. Indeed, her commander skill now deals 3 instances of might damage to her target instead of just 1 instance, which is a massive buff. She will also boost her own might damage by a very high amount for 6 seconds. Her signature skill is a pretty good self-boosting ability that makes Bellevue a selfish DPS that doesn't need to rely on supports, as much as Mulan does for instance. It has a base 65% chance to make her enter the double attack stance every turn while boosting her own might by 60, as well as reducing her own armor every 6 normal attacks launched. Her ranks makes her decent to play at 3 stars, since her first rank will buff her signature's might boost by another 60, while her 3rd rank will increase the chance to enter the double attack stance by 10%. Her 5th rank removes the armor reduction from her signature skill, while increasing the might buff by another 30, so it's really not that big of a deal. In our formation, Bellevue is buffed by Attila, probably one of the best, if not the best support, even up until Season 3. His signature skill has a 30% chance to give the double attack stance to all heroes every one of his turn. It's a pretty basic signature skill, but it is massively empowered by his ranks. Attila's 1st star is amazing and will make his signature skill buff the commander's might by 50 for 3 seconds whenever it's activated. His 3rd rank increases its trigger chance by 5%, and his 5th star will increase the commander's might damage by 35% whenever Annihilator is activated, which is very strong. Attila here not only ensures Bellevue gets double attack, but more importantly, he will massively boost her might and damage through both his signature skill and his customizable skill Warrior's Hymn, which we'll see later. Our new hero Mehmet's signature skill has 60% chance to activate a 3-second damage buff and 60% chance to activate a 3-second damage reduction buff every 6 seconds. Both effects can be triggered at the same time since they are checked separately. It's also worth noting that this 60% chance becomes 70% when Mehmet gets his 5th rank, so let's have a quick rundown on what this actually means before going any further. Below rank 5 and every 6 seconds, both buffs have 36% chance to be activated at the same time. Mehmet has a 48% chance to activate one of these 2 effects only, and finally there is only a 16% chance that none of these 2 buffs are activated. When Mehmet is rank 5, he now has 49% chance every 6 seconds to trigger both buffs at the same time, 42% chance to activate one of the 2 buffs, and only 9% chance to leave you without buffs. While this is definitely a good change, I wouldn't say it's game-changing for lower spenders, and I'd rather get Attila's 5th rank in comparison. Mehmet's 1st rank will increase his signature skill's damage reduction by 5%, and his 3rd rank will increase the damage buff by 10%. Mehmet fits perfectly with Bellevue since she is self-sufficient when it comes to the double attack stance. His addition to the team does a very good job when it comes to increasing warrior archers' resilience, but you should of course still be careful when running archers, be it on the open field or when joining rallies, because of Lu Bu's overwhelming strength. Always have an eye on the troops enemies use to field their rallies before sending your archers there. Other than that, this formation does very well when it comes to empowering Bellevue's natural high damage. For mercenaries, I'd pick Egyptian chariots. In this particular formation, only Bellevue's 2 customizable skills would benefit from the Korean archer's additional activation chance, so it's better to focus on Bellevue's damage instead. Let's have a look at our customizable skills. Bellevue being your commander, your main DPS, and being buffed by both Mehmet and Attila, we want her to have as many DPS skills as possible, so we'll take Pay in Blood and a weak spot attack. Mehmet will act as a purely defensive support when it comes to customizable skills, with Owl's Lament and Peaceful Haven. For Attila, we'll take the excellent Warrior's Hymn to buff Bellevue and Critical Insight to debuff enemies. Here I would upgrade Bellevue's skills as a priority, as well as Warrior's Hymn. When it comes to rings, Bellevue is an amazing Ring of the Nightwolf holder, since her might will skyrocket thanks to her signature skill and thanks to Attila's Warrior's Hymn, which will further increase this ring's effects. Attila will take the Ring of Bear to further increase Bellevue's might, since she benefits a lot from it, being our only DPS. For Mehmet, we can take a defensive ring to accommodate his playstyle and to protect ourselves from the Lubu meta a bit more. We can take the Ring of Falcon to further increase his healing potential and to increase Peaceful Haven's uptime, or opt for the Ring of Badger to get specific resistance against secondary strike-based heroes. Now obviously, if you play Lubu already on your account, then most likely your Attila is not available and will not fit this lineup. We'll see two alternatives, one where we play Ranni to replace Attila and the second where we replace Attila by Josephine. Both work as a transition to Season 3 if you played Warrior Archer in Season 2. Let's start by the first alternative, Bellevue, Mehmet and Ranni, which is very good if you have Ranni. She's obtainable through many events via chests as reward, through daily special bundles, and in the early versions of the Kingdom's Horde Battle Pass. She plays the same role as Attila before by empowering your commander Bellevue's might and damage. Her signature skill is very much similar to Attila's, with the difference that it will only give the double attack state to the next hero while increasing his might. In our case, Ranni will buff our commander, Bellevue. Her ranks are good, and just like Attila, her 5th rank is very interesting and will massively empower your commander. Her 1st star will increase her signature skill's might buffed by 30, and her 3rd star will increase its activation chance by 5%. Finally, her 5th star will make her signature skill increase the next hero's might damage by 33% for 3 seconds. A massive buff to get for sure, but if you're a free-to-play or low spender, she is still very much playable here at 3 stars. Regarding customizable skills, we will use the same on Mehmet and Bellevue as before because their roles are the same. For Ranni, we take Warrior's Hymn and Kingsblade to purely focus on supporting offensively our Bellevue. Just like before, I'd upgrade Bellevue's skills as a priority as well as Warrior's Hymn. For rings, just like before again, we'll take the Ring of Bear on Ranni and the Ring of Falcon or Ring of Badger on Mehmet. If you are not using your Ring of Nightwolf on Lubu's lineup, then you can use it here on Bellevue. Otherwise, you can actually run double defensive rings with Ring of Badger on Bellevue on top of Mehmet's Ring of Falcon. Quite frankly, there's never enough damage reduction against Lubu, so it will serve you pretty well. Finally, and as a last free-to-play alternative, if you don't have Ranni or Attila, or if they're not available for this lineup, you can run Bellevue, Mehmet and Josephine. You will still have decent results. Josephine is a tavern hero and you get her in many chest events, as well as Battlefield Survivors completion chests, so she's easily upgradable to at least 3 or 4 stars by the time you reach Season 3. She's a strong purely free-to-play hero, and while she won't be able to boost our Bellevue offensively like Ranni or Attila can, she will try to make up for it by dealing some damage and adding a bit of healing to your composition. Indeed, her signature skill is a simple ability that deals damage while recovering some of your units in the process, and all of her ranks will focus on upgrading this skill. The first rank will increase the recovery rate by 35%, the third one the damage rate by 65%, and the last rank the activation chance by 5%. When it comes to customizable skills, we'll run the same skills on Mehmet and Bellevue as before, and we'll play Josephine with weak spot attack and double attack to ensure she activates her signature skill as often as possible. We will also use the exact same rings as before with the same twists if your Ring of Nightwolf is used on your Lubu lineup. That's pretty much it for players who don't spend or don't spend a lot on the game, and to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised by how well these 3 armies I just showed performed compared to previous seasons' free-to-play Warrior Archer lineups. Mehmet's addition really provides a much-needed resilience to the team, and provided that you don't run headfirst in free Lubu, you'll actually do pretty decent. Let's now have a look at what's available to us if we have Mulan unlocked, preferably at 5 stars. If you have invested in Bellevue in Season 2, you can run Mulan, Mehmet and Bellevue. From Season 2 you trade Ranni's solo target damage boost on Mulan by Mehmet's global buffs. Mehmet will add the resistance this lineup lacked until now and make up for Rani's absence by boosting Bellevue as well as Mulan, while Rani only empowered Mulan in the previous Season 2 lineups. This lineup does particularly well in rallies with the newly found damage reduction and with the double boosted DPS. Just like before though, be careful when joining rallies, Lu Bu still represents a major threat despite the damage reduction from Mehmet. Let's remind ourselves of what Mulan's kit provides. Her Commander Scale is a basic solo target ability that will deal 4 instances of might damage to her enemy. It's worth noting that the first activation is very fast, allowing for a quick burst. Her signature skill Star Chaser is the true hero of her skill set, since it will deal a good amount of might damage with a 50% chance to deal even more damage by triggering 3 instances of damage. Her ranks are amazing and will contribute greatly to making her the great DPS that she is. Mulan's first rank will increase her signature skill's trigger chance of multiple instances of damage by 10%, and her third rank will increase the base activation chance of the skill by 6%. Her fifth rank is what makes her so deadly, with 35% more chances to trigger her signature skill's multiple damage instances, while increasing each line of damage by 40%. Regarding mercenaries, we'll pick Korean archers this time. The activation chance bonus from these mercenaries is activated for all secondary strike skills, not only signature ones, which has a lot of value considering our Bellevue and Mulan will play with double DPS customizable skills. While we only had one hero who benefited from this activation buff earlier, we now have 2. It's amazing for double attack heroes, since it's basically an additional % for every normal attack launched. When it comes to customizable skills, it is pretty similar to what we had before. For Mulan, we'll take Quick Spot Attack and Act of Mercy to maximize our DPS output. For that same reason, we will pick 2 DPS skills on Bellevue, Pay in Blood and Act of Mercy. Since Bellevue is not commander here, I prefer taking Act of Mercy over Weak Spot Attack, since the latter's damage boost would only benefit 2 DPS skills in this case. For Mehmet, just like before, we will prioritize the fully defensive skill set with Owl's Lament and Peaceful Haven. Let's have a look at rings. This composition is perfect when it comes to the Radiant Guardian ring. Mehmet does not need double attack, nor does he give it, and Bellevue applies the state on her own. That means that by adding the Radiant Guardian ring on Mulan, you make the most out of it without needing to think about double attack buffs overlapping her or Bellevue, like it's the case if you play Attila for instance. This ring is the perfect fit here on Mulan and allows you to play Mehmet without missing on the double attack support. I recommend the Ring of Falcon or the Ring of Badger on Mehmet and the Ring of Nightwolf on Bellevue, but if it's taken by your Lu Bu army, then you can take the Ring of Bear instead. This composition works very well in rallies, but requires you to have invested in Bellevue. Let's see what we have as an alternative if you don't have her. This next and final alternative is Mulan, Mehmet and Attila, but it also works with Mulan, Mehmet and Rani. Without Bellevue, we'll add in Attila to make up for the loss of raw damage by empowering our Mulan instead, similarly to what we did in Season 1 with the double support build. If you play Lu Bu and use Attila with him, then you can play this setup the exact same way but with Rani instead. Since we are back with only 1 DPS and fewer signature skills to trigger, we can play with Egyptian chariots here instead of Korean archers. We take the same skills as before for Mulan and Mehmet and we'll take Warrior's Hymn and Critical Insight on Attila. If you play with Rani instead, just replace Critical Insight by Kingsblade. We'll use the same rings too, Radiant Guardian on Mulan, Falcon or Badger on Mehmet, and Ring of Bear on Attila or Rani. This lineup works similarly to how Mulan worked in Season 1 and has great burst potential when Warrior's Hymn and either Rani or Attila signature skills are activated. It's also worth noting that this particular composition works if your Attila or Rani are 5 stars to get the damage buff from their signature skills, otherwise the previous setup with Bellevue is better. That's pretty much it for this season's Warrior Archers, so let's have a final note for gems and talent trees. For Mulan, Bellevue and Josephine, we will use gems that increase might, secondary strike skill damage, and either health or unit capacity. We can also run troops units attack gems if they are not used on a lineup that benefits more from it, like Lu Bu's. For Attila and Rani, we'll use gems that increase our might, our troops normal attack damage, and health or unit capacity, or troops unit attack for the same reason as stated above. Finally, for Mehmet, we'll take gems that increase might, healing, and unit capacity or health, or troops unit attack. Before ending this video, here are the talent trees I run for the heroes mentioned in this video. Mehmet really helps archers a lot after their struggle in Season 2, and the addition of Mansa Musa in Season 3 will reduce the number of cavalry running at you unscathed. Be careful on the open field, enjoy your rallies with the additional tankiness and damage boosts Mehmet provides, and bring your Season 1 Mulan out of the closet. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below and I'll try to answer you. Feel free to join my Discord server and our amazing community, the link's in the description. Bye everyone and see you soon.
Gather round, mateys, let the tale unfold. Warrior archers suffered, truth be told. But Season 3 waves brought fortune anew. Captain Mehmet sailed in, reviving the crew. They called me the Sultan, feared on every shore. Conquered the gates, wrote my name in lore. But now I bring aid to archers in distress, shielded by haven healing with lament's caress. Bellevue is pirate heart, fierce and true. Attila by her side, damage breaks through. Korean archers fire strikes with precision. Enemies tremble at our renewed ambition. Mehmet Sultan, zafer bizimle. Yelkenler açıldı, zaferler elde. Oklar keskin, hedefe vurur. Sultanın gücüyle rakipler durur. Hoist the sails, lads, the winds have turned. Thanks to Mehmet, our foes got burned. Double strikes aplenty with Night Wolf's bite. Empowered by Attila, what a glorious sight! Pay in blood drawn, weak spot aimed. Season 3 battles, legends reclaimed. F2P pirates sailing the seas. Mehmet's defensive strength, victory with ease. If Attila's sailing elsewhere, Rani steps in. Blades sharpen, Bellevue set to win. And even without her hose, Athena's there. Healing and support, fear not, no despair. All archers uplifted, strategies aligned. Under my banner, glory defined. Protection renewed, Lubu beware. Warrior archers return, claim their share. Mehmet Sultan, zafer bizimle. Yelkenler açıldı, zaferler elde. Oklar keskin, hedefe vurur. Sultanın gücüyle rakipler durur. Mulan! Radiant guardian, gleaming spender's delight. Mehmet's resistance enduring the fight. Bellevue and I damage doubled and strong. Raleigh's victorious, enemies gone. Ring of Badger guarding our line, boosting the power, tactics align. With Falcon's ring or Bear's might, our archer crew sails through every fight. From Istanbul walls to Season 3's field, archer strength and weakness is healed. Secondary strikes, tactics refined. Mehmet's command, victory defined. Mehmet Sultan, zafer bizimle. Yelkenler açıldı, zaferler elde. Oklar keskin, hedefe vurur. Sultanın gücüyle rakipler durur. Raise your bows high, pirates and archers anew. Season 3 saved by Mehmet and crew. From shadow to glory, legends now told. Under Sultan Mehmet, victory